The knock came at 11:47 p.m., sharp and urgent against the howl of the winter storm. Marcus Webb paused the cartoon he'd been watching with his daughter Lily, both of them curled under a blanket on the worn couch. "Who knocks this late?" 7-year-old Lily asked, her eyes wide. "Stay here, sweetie." Marcus approached the door cautiously. They lived in a safe neighborhood, but this was unusual. Through the peephole, he saw a figure hunched against the wind, a woman, soaking wet, her arms wrapped around herself. Marcus opened the door a crack, keeping the chain on. "Can I help you?" The woman looked up, and even through the rain and darkness, Marcus could see she was young, maybe mid-20s, and terrified. Her designer coat was torn, mascara streaked down her face, and she was shaking violently. "Please," she gasped. "Please, I need help. There are men chasing me. I just need to hide for a few hours until I can reach my security team. Please." Every instinct told Marcus this was trouble. Let a stranger into his home with Lily here? No way. He should call the police and shut the door. But he looked at her face, really looked, and saw his late wife Elena in those desperate eyes. Elena, who died 3 years ago from an undiagnosed heart condition, leaving him to raise Lily alone. Elena, who'd always said the measure of a person was what they did when helping cost them something. Marcus unchained the door. "Get inside, quickly." The woman stumbled in, dripping water onto the entryway floor. Marcus locked the door, threw the deadbolt, and grabbed a towel from the bathroom. "Daddy, who is she?" Lily peeked around the corner. "A friend who needs help, baby. Can you get her one of my sweatshirts, the big gray one?" Lily nodded and ran to get it, already comfortable with her father's tendency to help people. They'd once sheltered a homeless man during a blizzard. Marcus believed in being the kind of person Lily could be proud of, even when it was inconvenient. The woman wrapped herself in the towel, still trembling. "Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Charlotte. Marcus, that's Lily." He studied her expensive coat, the diamond earrings she still wore, the way she held herself despite the fear. "What kind of trouble are you in, Charlotte?" "I was at a charity gala downtown. Someone slipped something in my drink. I felt it happening, got dizzy, confused. My bodyguard was distracted and these 2 men tried to grab me, said they were taking me somewhere safe." Her voice shook. "I ran. Got out a side door, kept running until I couldn't anymore. I must have run 2 miles before I saw your lights." Marcus processed this. "Why not just call 911? I did, but I'm not exactly unknown. If this hits the news before we know who was behind it, it puts my family at risk. My security team is looking for me now, but I had to get off the streets." Charlotte's eyes filled with tears. "I know how this sounds, like I'm paranoid or dramatic. But there's a reason I have security, and tonight someone got through. I just need a few hours to figure out who I can trust." Lily returned with the sweatshirt, staring at Charlotte with open curiosity. "Are you a princess? You look like a princess." Charlotte managed a weak smile. "Something like that, sweetie." Marcus guided Charlotte to the bathroom to change, then made her tea while he quickly Googled her name on his phone. His screen exploded with results. Charlotte Morrison, 26, heiress to Morrison Tech fortune. Net worth, $2.3 billion. Known for charitable work and... Marcus stopped reading. He'd let a billionaire heiress into his shabby 2-bedroom apartment. This was going to get complicated. Charlotte emerged in his oversized sweatshirt, looking younger and more vulnerable without the designer coat. She'd washed her face, revealing a beautiful woman who looked exhausted and scared. "Feeling better? Warmer at least. Thank you." Charlotte sipped the tea, her hands still shaking. "I've been trying to reach my head of security, but my phone died while I was running. You can use mine." Marcus handed her his phone. Charlotte made a quick call, speaking in hushed tones, then hung up. "They're coming, but it'll be a few hours. They're setting up a secure route and making sure no one followed me here. Is it okay if I stay until then?" "Of course." What else could he say? "Can I sleep here?" Lily asked, pointing to the spot between Marcus and Charlotte on the couch. "In case the scary men come back, Daddy's really strong. He'll protect us." Marcus saw Charlotte's eyes well up at Lily's innocent confidence. Your daddy's very brave for letting me in. He's the bravest, Lily agreed, snuggling against Marcus. When Mommy died, he was so sad, but he still got up every day and made me breakfast and told me it was okay to be sad too. That's being brave, right? Charlotte looked at Marcus with new understanding. You're a widower? 3 years now. Marcus pulled Lily closer. Heart condition we didn't know she had. One day she was here, the next she was gone. I'm so sorry. They fell into an unexpected conversation, Charlotte explaining her life of wealth and isolation, always wondering who wanted her for her money versus who she actually was. Marcus sharing his struggles with single parenthood, working 2 jobs to keep them afloat, the constant fear that he was failing Lily. You're not failing her, Charlotte said, watching Lily doze off between them. Look at her. She feels safe, loved, confident enough to offer comfort to a stranger. You're doing everything right. It doesn't feel like it most days. The best parents never think they're doing enough. Charlotte smiled sadly. My mother died when I was 8. My father raised me alone while running a Fortune 500 company. He always said the hardest part was feeling like he wasn't enough, even though he was everything to me. Around 2 a.m. there was a different knock, professional, controlled. Marcus looked through the peephole to see 3 people in dark suits, earpieces visible. That's them, Charlotte confirmed. Marcus opened the door. The security team swept in efficiently, one of them, a tall woman with sharp eyes, immediately checking Charlotte over. Are you hurt? Did anyone follow you here? I'm fine, Rebecca, and no, I don't think so. Mr. Webb kept me safe. Rebecca turned to Marcus, assessing him with professional scrutiny. You opened your door to a stranger in the middle of the night. She needed help. You could have called the police, locked your door, protected your daughter by not getting involved. Rebecca's tone wasn't accusatory, just factual. I could have, Marcus agreed. But that's not who I want Lily to see me be. Rebecca's expression softened slightly. Not many people would have done what you did, Mr. Webb. Especially not with a child in the house. Charlotte was gathering her things, looking reluctant to leave the warmth and safety of Marcus's modest home. How can I thank you? Really thank you? You don't need to. Please. Charlotte's voice was firm. You risked everything for a stranger. Let me help you somehow. We're okay, Marcus said, though they both knew it was a lie. He worked at a warehouse and drove for a rideshare service on weekends. They were surviving, not thriving. Charlotte looked at Lily, still sleeping on the couch, then back at Marcus. What if I could offer you a job? Head of facilities at Morrison Tech. It's a real position. We actually need someone. Better pay, normal hours, full benefits. You'd be home for dinner every night. I don't have the qualifications. You have the character. That matters more. And honestly, Charlotte smiled. Tonight you managed a crisis situation with calm, made quick decisions under pressure, and created a safe environment despite limited resources. Those are exactly the skills the position needs. Marcus felt tears prick his eyes. Why would you do this? Because 3 years ago when my father died, I inherited everything. Money, company, responsibility. And I've spent those 3 years wondering how to use it meaningfully. Tonight, you showed me what real wealth looks like. It's not money, it's character. It's choosing to help even when it costs you something. I want people like you in my company. I want to build something my father would be proud of, with people who understand what actually matters. Rebecca was shepherding them toward the door. Charlotte paused on the threshold. One more thing. That charity gala tonight? It was raising money for single-parent support services. Childcare assistance, counseling, emergency funds. We raised $4 million. I'm going to make sure some of that goes directly to programs in your neighborhood. Consider it thanks from all the single parents who'll benefit. Charlotte, you don't have to. I know. That's why I want to. She squeezed his hand. You opened your door when you didn't have to. Let me do the same for you. 6 months later, Marcus stood in his new position at Morrison Tech, coordinating facilities for a company that actually valued its employees. He worked reasonable hours, had full benefits, and came home to Lily every night for dinner. But more than that, he and Charlotte had become genuine friends. She visited regularly, always bringing treats for Lily, always asking about their lives with genuine interest. She'd been at Lily's school play, her 8th birthday party, even helped Marcus install a new air conditioner when his broke during the summer. "You know what I realized?" Charlotte said one evening, watching Lily show off her science project. "That night, I wasn't just running from danger. I was running toward something, toward real connection, real humanity. I'd spent so long in a bubble of wealth and security that I'd forgotten what it felt like to trust a stranger's kindness. You could have knocked on any door, but I knocked on yours, and you opened it." Charlotte smiled. "Some people would say that was luck. I think it was fate. The universe putting me exactly where I needed to be, with exactly the person I needed to meet. The lonely single dad who didn't know any better," Marcus teased. "The brave single dad who knew exactly what kind of person he wanted to be." Charlotte looked at Lily, who was excitedly explaining photosynthesis to her stuffed animals. "You protected me that night, but more than that, you showed me what wealth really means. Having the courage to give what little you have to help someone who has nothing. That's a lesson worth billions." Marcus thought about that stormy night, the terrified woman at his door, the decision that had changed everything. He'd opened his door expecting nothing, risking what little security he had because Elena had taught him that's what good people do. "You know what Elena used to say?" Marcus said softly. "She'd say that we don't help people because we have extra. We help people because they need it, even when we don't have extra. Especially then. She was wise, she was, and she'd have liked you. She'd have said you have a good heart under all that money." Charlotte laughed. "I'll take that as the highest compliment." 1 year after that fateful night, Charlotte established the Elena Webb Foundation, named for Marcus's late wife, focused on supporting single parents with practical resources, emergency assistance, and pathways to better employment. Marcus served as a board member, using his experience to guide programs that actually helped families like his. And sometimes, late at night, when Lily was asleep and the apartment was quiet, Marcus would think about the choice he'd made, to open his door, to risk his safety and his daughter's for a stranger who needed help. It had cost him something. It had been dangerous. It had been foolish by any practical measure, but it had also been exactly who he wanted to be. Because the lonely single dad who'd opened his door that stormy night hadn't known he was protecting a billionaire heiress. He'd just known someone needed help. And in the end, she'd protected him right back. Not with money or power, but by seeing his worth, his character, his heart. Sometimes the people we save end up saving us. And sometimes opening your door for one night opens up an entire life you never imagined possible. All because a single father chose kindness over caution, humanity over fear, and love over safety. That was the kind of legacy Elena would have been proud of. And that was the kind of man Lily would grow up knowing her father had always been. The one who opened the door when someone knocked, no matter the storm raging outside.